Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, Ba'asham Ha'arakah Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of great millstone who rule well, and shalom to the whole full elect. This video is going to be a very quick video. I'm just going to deal with this precept because right now we're in the midst of a so-called global pandemic with COVID-19, the coronavirus, which is said to be a new strain of the coronavirus, and that's why it's been called the COVID-19. But that's what they're telling you on the surface. But what it really is prophecy, okay? Prophecy in the Bible, and the key prophecy being that this COVID-19 is basically making waves in terms of progressing to the key prophecy of the RFID chip, which is a mark of the beast in the book of Revelations, okay? Because right now we're in the midst of a lockdown, global lockdown in key places, being America, all right, which is Babylon the Great according to the book of Revelations, and other beast nations as well, being the NATO and the EU. Okay, the UK, which is included in that as well, okay, is on a lockdown. Now, you could say that, they're lightening up compared to when they first came with a lockdown. They're saying that we're at the peak and we need to get past this. But the key bit of information that they're not really heavily delving into, the key bit of information that's letting you know that the RFID chip is on the horizon is basically the vaccine. Okay, you saw information's come out in the UK in particular that said that look, until the lockdown won't be taken off until the vaccine is in place. Okay, meaning that in order for the lockdown to come off, a vaccine would have to be found that can deal with the so-called COVID-19, and then everyone would take it and then be immune to it, okay? As to which, they can take the lockdown off. But with that being said, the vaccine was basically is a sure thing to lead to the RFID chip, okay? And I got some articles. I'm going to do another video afterwards. I just want to hit this point because Isaiah 33:6 tells you, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and the strength of thy salvation, all right? And the fear of the Lord is his treasure. So what we need to understand is that the fear of the Lord is his treasure. And the book of Proverbs tells you fear is the beginning of knowledge, all right? And basically, if you're going to serve the Lord, the first thing you need to have is the fear of the Lord. And then having fear of the Lord, it then spurs you on to understand who the Lord is, all right? And that's where the wisdom and knowledge comes into perspective, because then as did Abel know, to offer a righteous sacrifice unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai, because he feared the Lord and he knew and understood him, okay? That's why he had the wisdom and knowledge to offer a sacrifice that was accepted unto Yahweh Ba'asham Yahweh Shai. Whereas you had Cain, his wicked brother, which didn't fear the Lord and didn't have wisdom and knowledge to offer the right sacrifice unto the Lord, which actually led to him murdering his brother. And then when he was asked where was his brother, that he lied to the Lord on top of that, okay? And the Lord basically said, look, showing you had no fear of the Lord, said the blood of your brother cries unto me, okay? Because when as in the book of Revelations, the 6th chapter, it tells you about the saints that cried unto the Lord, the blood of the saints that cry unto the Lord, that's in death, being in the spiritual realm. They basically come up there and they kick up a fuss to the Most High Power that they were murdered by the wicked, basically. So now, in knowing this is really key information for anyone that's out there, man, that you don't want to be taking that vaccine, okay? You don't want to be putting none of Esau's madness. It tells you in the law, in the book of the law, Leviticus, that you should not be letting inject no no needles going to your body. You shouldn't be piercing your body with anything. That's according to the Lord. That's the fit that that's the wisdom and knowledge of the Lord. But then on top of that, you know, the mark is more wisdom and knowledge, because that's giving you the understanding that that's the mark of the beast. Okay, and if you take that you, even though it may seem like you're being saved from impending doom, you're actually allotting yourself to a bigger destruction in comparison to what you deem to be a great destruction. Okay, basically being melted by fervent heat of the ICBM missiles, or by the lasers of Yahweh Shai from the chariots of Israel, which are known today as a UFO. So I'm just going to delve into the scripture. Lord willing, you be edified. And this is Sirach 12. So Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach, 12th chapter and the 10th verse. I'm going to read down to 17 possibly. Okay? But it says, never trust thine enemy, for first off, this shows you that the Bible ain't all about peace and love. That the people that believe in Yahweh Bashem El Shai, the God of the Bible, that there's an enemy, okay? And then we're not to trust him. Never trust thine enemy, okay? The name Satan even means adversary, which basically is an enemy, okay? For like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, okay? Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. All right, and that was Esau. This is talking about Esau. Esau, Edom, which is known as the so-called white man. Okay, he basically came everywhere he went in the world. He came with his words are smoother than butter. Okay, and he basically came as a friend in need. All right, but then the main thing we need to understand is going back to the time of Jacob and Esau. You had Esau basically lost down a blessing to Jacob. All right, being our forefather, the so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, and all our descendants. When Esau lost that blessing, it tells you that he sought carefully. When he cried, he said, "The days of mourning for my father and but then after it is done, I shall slay my brother," loosely paraphrasing. So basically, he wanted to murder us, going back to the time when he lost the blessing. And it tells you in the book of Hebrews, the 12th chapter as well, that he found no place of repentance, even though he sought carefully with tears. Okay, so this is saying, and that's why in the book of Jeremiah, the 31st chapter, I believe, it tells you about if you can measure the depths of the sea, and if you can count all the stars in heaven, or map out the space, that Israel will cease to be a children before me, or and the Lord goes on to saying, but even as the sun and the moon, they will not be, cease to be my children. Okay, but that's why Esau's doing those things. That's the point, because he's sought carefully with tears. That should show that the fact that he's out there in the heavens trying to map everything out, he's trying to inherit our blessing, and he wants to get us out of the way. And this is how he's gonna do it. Okay, this is part of the plan. All right, ultimately with the RFID chip, World War III. Okay, all these things. Okay, though he humble himself and go, verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Going back to the dark ages, going back to America with Gad, that's what he did. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, which he did. Okay, during the period of the dark ages, he crept in unawares, or and basically set himself up to be the rulers that be now. And that's why you have a thing called iconoclasm, because it was a transition that happened in a somewhat smooth transition, and he basically, that's even gradualism as well. He gradually, whitewashed different images, rewrote history, changed the course of history, etc., etc. That's why he had, that's why it was done the way it was done, because obviously certain people were privy to certain information, such as Gamal Nasser. He said the Jews left Palestine black and came back white. All right, talking about the so-called so-called Jews of today, because certain information, bits of information, is known amongst different people. Okay, and that can't be erased from the scene. But as time has gone on, these pieces of history have been, erased away and only been left to a few. Okay, neither let him lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent? That's right. Esau's known. Esau was a serpent in the garden, okay, which was more subtle than a beast. You don't play with a snake. If you do, you're gonna get stung. Basically, you're gonna get bit, okay, or any such as come nigh wild beasts, and Esau's compared to a beast, okay. So a beast, you don't play with a wild beast, okay. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity? That's right. All right, and that's the same thing with the vaccines. You take that vaccine and it mangles your whole body up. Guess what? There's no pity there for you, because the Lord basically outlined it there before you to make it known. All right, that's why it tells you Isaiah 30. That's why I mentioned Isaiah 33:6 and Proverbs the first chapter, because wisdom and knowledge is key, basically. All right, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. An enemy speaks sweetly with his lips, right, smooth and bar, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if he find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. Right, and that's Esau. He has a bloodlust. That's why it tells you in the book of Ezekiel that, since he loves blood, that blood will pursue him. All right, and until from everywhere. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And remember, what did Esau say? Raise it even to the foundations thereof. That's what Esau's energy is, all right? He's looking for your downfall. And though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. So with that, man, that was a quick lesson. I pray you edified. Arm yourself with this mindset, right? This is the time. This Esau, Edom, the so-called white man is known as the devil, the Bible speaks of. And this whole agenda with the quarantine ain't nothing to take lightly, okay? With a whole vaccine and all these things, man. Don't just take it, hey, it tells you empty